Good morning. Welcome to your early morning intuitive guidance. I am back. Hope you missed me. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, America's kick-ass coach and psychologist. Here with some words of wisdom for your day. And we have an interesting word today. It is not a word that we see bandied about much anymore, but as I read the description of it, I'm like, oh yeah, we need this right now. So hopefully you will find it intriguing, this word, and take some time to look at how are you applying this in your life, etc. Good morning, Deb. Glad you are here. But I think it's really a good direction for us to head. And coming off of the conference I was just at, I have to tell you, my brain is full. My brain is absolutely full to the brim. I don't think I could take in one more idea, concept, thought, feeling, etc. So it's going to take me a while to process through all of that. But what I foresee coming out the other end of that processing is some next best steps for me to take in terms of creating an intentional community, a place where people can live and operate with cooperation and collaboration instead of competition. So that's the thumbnail sketch of the deal, but we'll see where we end up. So our card for today comes from the Virtues Reflection Cards deck by the Virtues Project. And again, this is a word we don't use much anymore and we don't hear about much. Good morning, Joe. I'm glad you are here. So it's nice to be back. It's nice to have some routine getting established again. I think TJ was quite happy to go for his walk in the dark again. So here's our word. Mercy. Mercy. That's not a word that we hear very much anymore, but I think it's an absolutely relevant word for us at this time. So a couple of nice deep breaths just to open ourselves to receiving the wisdom of this card, and then apply it wherever it's applicable in your life. Apply it. So a couple of nice deep breaths. One more. Mercy. Mercy is blessing others with our compassion and forgiveness. Good morning, Carolyn. Glad you are here. Our word for today is mercy. And welcome to whomever else has popped on that I haven't seen your name roll by. Mercy is blessing others with our compassion and forgiveness. And oftentimes, we can have a grace to us. So let's say we were right about something, and the person who was wrong is kind of in that abashed state of knowing they were wrong, admitting it, but being uncomfortable that they were wrong. We can handle that with grace. We can not do the I told you so. Good morning, Cheryl. Glad you are here. And we can just operate out of grace. Have some mercy. Not rub someone's face in the fact that they were wrong. We're all wrong at times, right? We are fallible human beings. So mercy is blessing others with our compassion and forgiveness. We are touched by their suffering and want to help. I love this next line. Justice is giving people what they deserve. Mercy is giving them more. Justice is giving people what they deserve, and we are way away from balance on that one even. Mercy is giving them more. We are merciful when we give ourselves and others a fresh chance after an offense or a mistake. All right? Nothing inspires hope so much as a clean slate. When we have the humility to remember the countless mercies we receive throughout life, we find it in our hearts to show mercy to others. We offer the gift of our tenderness. So it might be saying, that's okay, yeah, you screwed up, I've screwed up in the past also. Let's just move on. Let's just move on. Is there anything you need for us to be able to move on? Here's what I need for us to be able to move on. Okay? The quote is from William Shakespeare, The Merchant of Venice. The quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed. It blesseth him who gives and him that takes. Good morning, Linda. Welcome, welcome. So here are our I statements with regard to mercy. And again, these could be great to take one and live from it today, practice it today. The more mercy in our world, the better. All right? I am compassionate and forgiving. I am compassionate and forgiving. And you tell yourself that enough, and you will be. My heart is moved by the suffering of others. And that doesn't mean you jump in and try to fix it, okay? But it means you can not turn your face away from the suffering of others. You can hold big space for the suffering of others. I overlook mistakes. I overlook mistakes. Again, you're not rubbing people's nose in their mistakes. We all make them. We all make them. I give others and myself the chance to start over. Even just break that in half. I give others the chance to start over. I give myself the chance to start over. How cool is that? I am thankful for the divine mercies I have been shown. Because when you are in gratitude for the times people have cut you slack, or the universe has cut you slack, then you can be more giving in that regard to others. I treat others tenderly. I treat others tenderly. I am thankful for the gift of mercy. It makes my life a blessing. So, again, mercy is not a word we hear often anymore. And it's something over which we have control. The conference that I went to this weekend was on co-housing, and much of it was on senior co-housing and co-housing over the course of a lifetime. And the thing that I like about intentional community in general is that it's far more egalitarian than our world is currently set up to be. And when we see examples of it, it's so helpful, since we've in the United States been so steeped in it's dog eat dog, someone has to win, someone has to lose, we're competing all the time, all that stuff. When we come from that place of cooperation and collaboration, that divine feminine approach, all manner of other things can open up. So I enjoyed hearing from particularly elders who have been in cooperative living for 28 years, a long time. And for them, it's very second nature. For me, it's very clunky. It's not something that I have lived, so it's not something that comes very easily. So I enjoyed watching them interact with each other in this way, operating by consensus or operating through a process called sociocracy, and learning more about that. And I've got a lot of stuff to compute. I bought 3 books. I limited myself to 3. But again, good morning, Grace, glad you are here. And mercy is certainly a piece of that whole dynamic, that whole way of being. So we did this one exercise, and I had seen this before, but I want to share this one with you. And now I got to see if I can find my little notebook. Here it is. But basically what the person who, his name is Ted Rao, was saying about this process is every one of us plays every role in this process. So it's called the drama triangle, DRAMA. And so we have 3 peaks, right? And you have basically, in the simplest version of this, 3 players. You have the victim, you have the persecutor, and you have the rescuer. And again, we all pop very easily into any one of these roles. And even within, they had us do a role play. And even within the role play, we were changing roles. But the gist is, the victim comes from that poor me perspective, okay? The persecutor comes from the it's all your fault, you've created this for yourself perspective. The rescuer comes from the I'm here to help you, I'm here to protect you perspective. Can you see that you have played all three roles? Because we all have. We all have. And he talked about the dynamics between all of these roles and how as we shift through them, it creates a very untenable situation, a very unpleasant, unhealthy, disempowered situation. Good morning, Barb. Glad you are here. I think you'll like this thing. It's called the drama triangle. And the three players are the victim, the persecutor, and the rescuer. And we all play all three roles. And even within an interaction, we can shift among those roles. So then there is an empowerment triangle. You know, I love that word. It's one of my favorite words. It's my business, empowerment coaching. And the empowerment triangle is the victim becomes a creator, stating what they want, appreciating themselves for going through this, having the courage to do it, coming from an I can do it perspective. That's the subtle shift that happens from victim to creator. The persecutor, the one who's saying it's your own damn fault, shifts into challenger. They might be the person who says, well, I think this can be done better, and let's set some boundaries around this thing, what it could look like. Actively listening to what the creator is working to create and not sitting in judgment, moving out of that place of judgment and holding big space for the creator to work his, her, their way out of the pickle they're in, or that has been created for the group. And then the rescuer becomes a coach. I care about you and I think you are capable. You can do this, encouraging choices, etc., etc. So this whole thing shifts from a negative, disempowering triangle into an empowerment triangle. That's just one little piece that I'd share from what we learned, but you can look it up by Googling the drama triangle. Again, our word for today is mercy. When we come from a place of mercy, blessing others with our compassion and forgiveness, you can already see how that's going to impact that drama triangle. It's going to help shift things, all right? And any one of the players in that triangle can shift the dynamic by stepping into their healthier role, all right? So I'd like you to be thinking today about mercy and how you can be more merciful with those around you, especially those who push your buttons. Imagine if all of those who are right now indulging, and I'm going to use that word, indulging in the political fray. My opponent said this, and can you believe that my opponent's doing that? Good morning, Beth. Glad you are here. If all of those individuals who, and their parties, stopped indulging in the finger pointing and began coming from this merciful perspective of, here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to blaspheme and, be nasty about what my opponent, the system is already set up to be adversarial, right, is going to do, but I'm going to talk about what I will do. Here's what I'm planning on doing. I'm not bashing that person. Yes, absolutely perfect for your journey with family this week. Yes. And be merciful with yourself when you find yourself slipping into old patterns. We can be our best adult healthy self and we get around our family and we're 10. Okay? So be kind to yourself about that. You may go to the bathroom to regroup. You may want to read a little bit of this ahead of time and practice. How could I shift from going into victim or going into persecutor or going into rescuer and stay in a much healthier place with all of this, okay? And again, I want to just read these two sentences because I think they're so powerful. Justice is giving people what they deserve. And think about that. We're so far away from that. Mercy is giving them more. Mercy is giving them more. I leave you with that thought. I will see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. I'm so glad to be back. Bye-bye.